Welcome into the quiet fire of your own awakening, the place where your shadows start to listen and your strength begins to stand tall, even before you realize it. Exists where the world that doubted you finally feels the weight of your rising, and where your unknown allies in the high places just went to war for you, and they're not playing nice. There is a moment in every life when the wind shifts, without warning, a moment when the air thickens as if the world itself pauses to take a breath before something monumental begins. You might not see it, you might not feel it at first, but something moves behind you like an unseen tide pushing you forward, even when you think you have no strength left. It is the moment when destiny stirs quietly, when the path you thought you lost reveals itself again under your trembling feet. And you stand there wondering if you imagined it, wondering if it is just hope disguised as noise. But it is real. It is the first signal that forces beyond your sight have decided that you will not fall today. You have walked through storms that tried to swallow you. You have climbed mountains that seemed to grow taller whenever you neared the top. You have endured nights so long they felt like an entire lifetime of waiting for dawn. You have faced doubts that would have shattered others, but somehow you kept going, not because you always believed in yourself, but because something in you refused to surrender. Something ancient, something deep, something that was placed in you long before the world ever tried to break you. And now that something is waking up fully, the universe has a way of sending help long before you know you need it. Not the kind of help that comes wrapped in comfort, but the kind wrapped in storm clouds, the kind born in quiet rooms, the kind hidden behind decisions you never knew were being made on your behalf. Somewhere in places you will never see people whispered your name when you had no strength to speak for yourself. They opened doors you never realized were locked. They fought battles you didn't know were happening. They made moves that shifted the ground beneath you so that your next step would land on solid earth instead of sinking sand. And you might never know their names. You might never understand how far their reach extends. But they are the reason the path is clearing now. Life is not always loud when it changes. Sometimes it is subtle, like the settling of dust after something heavy has been lifted from your shoulders. Sometimes it is like turning a corner and finding the sun waiting for you, like it knew you were arriving. Sometimes it is like hearing someone say, "You will rise," even when you are still kneeling. And sometimes it is like discovering that there are people in high places, people with power, influence, insight, and determination, who have taken your story into their own hands because they saw something worth protecting, something worth saving, something worth lifting higher. These allies are not the loud kind. They are not the kind who announce their presence or demand recognition. They are the quiet force that stands between you and the world's attempts to diminish you. They are the ones who push back against the weight that tries to crush your potential. They are the ones who step into rooms where your name is spoken and ensure it is spoken with respect. They are the ones who see the long road you have traveled and decide that you will not walk the rest of it alone. You may think you have been abandoned before. You may think you have been forgotten. But look again. Listen deeper. Feel beneath the surface of your current struggle. The ground is humming with movement. You may not realize it, but wheels are turning, gears are shifting, decisions are aligning. Forces you cannot see are setting the stage for the next chapter of your rise. And this time, you will not climb alone. This time, you will not fight alone. This time you have support hidden in the very architecture of your destiny. There is a reason you survived what others did not. There is a reason your spirit remained unbroken, even when your world seemed to collapse. There is a reason you are still standing, despite the weight of everything you carried. You were never meant to fall here. You were never meant to fade out in silence. You were meant to rise in a way that makes even your past wonder how you found the strength. And now that strength is being multiplied by those who have stepped into the shadows to protect your ascent. Some of them owe you nothing, and yet they move for you. Some of them will never meet you, and yet they act in your favor. Some of them saw your journey from afar and felt compelled to shift the currents in your direction. They saw the quiet fire in you. They saw the resilience you tried to hide. They saw the potential that refused to die. And without asking for credit, without demanding gratitude, they positioned themselves around your path like silent guardians. This is not fantasy. This is the unseen truth of influence. Some people shift worlds with their choices, and some of those choices are now shaping yours. They have stepped into the conflict on your behalf. They have stood between you and the storms that were gathering. They have said enough when the world tried to bury you. They have cleared obstacles you didn't even know were placed in your way, and they are not done. Not even close. You might wonder why they would take risks for someone they barely know, or someone who has not yet reached their full power. But that is exactly why. Those who rise high know what it means to struggle. They know what it means to fight alone. They know what it means to have a dream so heavy that it bends your back until you think you might break. They recognize the same fire in you that once burned in them. And just as someone helped them climb once upon a time, they now help you. This is not charity. This is alignment. This is destiny, linking your story to theirs. This is the universe weaving threads you never knew existed. And now, those threads pull you upward. You may feel like you have been walking through darkness for years, but that darkness has been sharpening you. It has been tempering you like a blade forged in heat and pressure. It has been preparing you for a moment when light alone would not be enough, because the world you are entering now requires someone who knows how to stand, even when shadows stretch long, and that is you. Your unknown allies did not step forward because they pity you. They stepped forward because they believe you, because they saw something powerful in you, something quiet and fierce, something that refused to disappear. They went to war for you because they knew you were worth fighting for, and they did not ask for permission. They did not ask for applause. They simply acted. The next time you doubt your worth, remember that people you may never meet have moved mountains for you. The next time you feel insignificant, remember that decisions were made with your survival in mind. The next time you think you are alone, remember that there are minds thinking of you, hearts rooting for you, and hands working behind the scenes to clear your path. And when the world asks why you suddenly start rising faster than before, why your road suddenly becomes smoother, why doors suddenly open wide, remember this one truth: your unknown allies in high places just went to war for you, and they're not playing nice. And for your thumbnail, the whisper, the reminder, the message the world cannot ignore, who jumped in to save your ass. Not crude, not violent, but raw, honest, and electrifying. Because sometimes the truth needs no softness. You are stepping into a chapter where your victories will surprise even you, where the timing will feel impossibly perfect, where opportunities will arrive, as if the universe itself signed your name on them. This is not coincidence. This is the result of people who saw your silent battles and decided to fight beside you, people who saw you bending and decided you would not break. And now, it is your turn to rise, your turn to carry the weight with new strength, your turn to meet the world with the force that has been building inside you. Your turn to honor the allies you may never meet by becoming everything they saw in you. Your turn to step into the world knowing that you were not lifted for nothing. You were lifted because you are meant to become a force no darkness can swallow. So walk forward now. Walk with the quiet confidence of someone who has survived storms and earned the attention of power. Walk with the knowledge that you are not alone. Walk with the certainty that the world is shifting for you. And walk with the unshakable truth that your rise has already begun. Because you are no longer fighting alone, and you will never fight alone again. If you want, I can expand it further, adjust tone, or craft a shorter version for a script. There comes a moment when you realize the world has been watching you far more closely than you ever imagined, watching the way you kept pushing, even when you felt like collapsing, watching the way you held on, even when the ground beneath you trembled, watching the way you still showed kindness, even when your heart was tired. These details might seem small to you, but to the right eyes they were proof of something powerful, proof that you were not ordinary, proof that you were built for more, proof that you were worth defending. And now those quiet observers, the ones who stayed hidden in the corners of your story, have chosen their moment to act. You might not see their faces, but you will feel their impact. You will feel it in the sudden rush of opportunities that seem to appear out of thin air. You will feel it in the unexpected support that arrives exactly when you need it. You will feel it in the way the obstacles that used to hold you back suddenly begin to crumble. That is not luck. That is alignment. That is intervention. That is someone somewhere deciding that your time has finally come. But here is the truth. No one tells you. Help in high places does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who endure. It comes to those who keep going long after others have stopped. It comes to those who refuse to give up, even when the world tries to convince them that their story is done. And you endured. You pushed. You stayed. You rose. And because of that, your life is now shifting, quietly but powerfully. There are people who saw the way the world underestimated you. They watched the way you were overlooked, dismissed, ignored, and it did not sit right with them. They saw the strength beneath your silence, the brilliance beneath your hesitation, the courage beneath your fear. They saw the gold inside you long before you recognized it. And they stepped forward. They stepped forward knowing their involvement might not be noticed or celebrated, but that was never the point. The point was you, your path, your rise, your future. Think of it like a storm forming far beyond the horizon. You cannot see it, but you can feel the pressure shifting. You can sense the air changing. Something inside you knows something powerful is approaching. That is what is happening around you now. Forces bigger than your doubts are gathering. Movements larger than your fears are aligning. Directions you thought were closed forever are turning quietly in your favor. This is what it feels like to be lifted by hands you cannot see. And as your life begins to move with new momentum, the world around you will respond. Some will be amazed, some will be confused, some will be threatened by your rise, but none of that matters. What matters is that you remain steady, that you walk forward with intention, that you trust the shift even when you do not understand it fully. Because your unknown allies did not move for a version of you that doubts. They moved for the version of you that rises, the version you are becoming now. Remember something important. When powerful people decide to support you, they do not do it lightly. They do not do it randomly. They do it because they see a future in you that even you have not fully glimpsed yet. They do it because they sense your purpose. They do it because they know their influence placed in the right moment can change the entire direction of your life. And now yours is changing. It is normal to feel unprepared in moments like this. Normal to wonder if you are worthy of the help arriving. But let this truth settle in your soul. You would not receive support from high places if you were meant to stay small. You would not have forces moving on your behalf. If your story were meant to end in mediocrity, You would not feel the shift beneath your feet if your destiny were meant to remain silent. No, you are meant to rise. You are meant to step into the world with a gravity that others feel before you even speak. You are meant to become a force that cannot be ignored. And your silent guardians know this. They know your potential. They know your resilience. They know your capacity to turn struggle into strength. And because they know these things, they have chosen to stand with you, even if you never discover their names. This is the nature of true influence. It works without asking for applause. It works without demanding attention. It works in silence, but its impact is thunder. You will begin to notice moments that feel divinely timed. Messages arriving exactly when you are on the edge of giving up. New paths opening on days when hope feels thin. People entering your life who speak words you needed without knowing your story. These are not coincidences. These are the footprints of your unseen allies. These are the signs that the war fought on your behalf is already changing the terrain ahead of you. And yes, war is the right word. Not a war of violence, but a war of influence. A war of decisions. A war of opportunity. A war fought in rooms you will never enter by people who believe your journey is worth defending. They speak for you when you are not there. They protect your name when others try to twist it. They guide your path when negativity tries to cloud it. They stand guard over your potential like a shield, and they do so with purpose. One day, you will look back at this season of your life with clarity. You will see the threads connecting every moment. You will see how the hardships shaped you, how the silence strengthened you, how the waiting carved depth into your character. And then you will see the shift, the turning point, the moment when invisible hands pushed you forward and the world suddenly felt different. That moment is now unfolding. But do not make the mistake of thinking your story depends entirely on these allies. They opened the way, but you must walk it. They created the opportunity, but you must seize it. They fought for your rise, but you must rise with intention. This is your life, your path, your breakthrough, and the world will be watching how you use this moment. Walk with steadiness, walk with purpose, walk with the calm certainty of someone who knows they are backed by strength, even in silence. Let your growth become your gratitude. Let your success become your acknowledgement. Let your transformation become your answer to every person who doubted, every obstacle that pushed you down, every shadow that tried to convince you that you were alone. You were never alone. You were simply unaware of the quiet power standing behind you. And now that you know the truth, now that you feel the momentum, now that you sense the rising happening inside you, the only thing left to do is continue. Continue forward. Continue upward. Continue becoming everything you were designed to be. Say it to yourself, not as a question, but as a declaration. The universe moved for me. People in high places moved for me. Help arrived even before I knew I needed it. I am being lifted. I am being guided. I am being prepared. I am not alone. I am rising. There will come a day when everything makes sense. Not the kind of sense that comes from logic, but the kind that comes from realization. The kind that arrives like a quiet dawn into the darkest morning of your life. You will look back at every struggle, every heartbreak, every dead end, every silent night, and you will finally understand that none of it was wasted. Every moment was shaping you, preparing you, carving you into someone capable of carrying the weight of the future you are walking into. And that future is not small. It never was. The world tried to convince you otherwise. It tried to shrink you to fit into spaces you were never meant to stay in. It tried to distract you with fear, discourage you with failure, exhaust you with doubt. It tried to make you forget who you are. But destiny never forgot. And neither did the people who saw the truth in you, even when you were too tired to see it yourself. They watched your resilience. They watched your ability to stand back up after every fall. They watched your silence turn into strength. And somewhere along the way, they made a decision. They decided you were someone worth fighting for. This is why your story is shifting. This is why your life feels like it is stirring with new energy. This is why you sense movement even when everything around you looks still. There is a greater hand at work now, a strategic force building the path ahead of you, a gathering of minds and hearts, an influence woven together for one purpose: to lift you higher, to protect your becoming, to open the doors you thought were locked, to push away the shadows that tried to linger around your path. And while the world around you sees only the surface, you can feel the change beneath it. You can feel the ground heating with potential. You can feel your spirit aligning with something much larger than the challenges you faced. You can feel the quiet strength of your unseen allies standing behind you like a wall of invisible courage. This is not imagination. This is the reality of someone whose journey has never been ordinary. There are times when life keeps certain people hidden until the moment you need them. People with wisdom, people with power, people with influence, people with a perspective sharp enough to recognize your value instantly, people who can see through the fog of your self-doubt straight into the raw brilliance beneath. These are the people who step forward now, not loudly, but decisively, not for attention, but for impact, not for gratitude, but because they believe in the purpose that lives inside you. It might feel strange to think that people who owe you nothing have chosen to protect your rise. But understand this: influence recognizes potential, strength recognizes strength, purpose recognizes purpose, and the ones who have risen far in life know how to sense the fire in someone who is meant to rise as well. They can feel it in the way you speak, even when you whisper, in the way you move, even when you doubt, in the way you keep going, even when you are certain you have nothing left. This is why they stepped in. This is why they moved for you. This is why they fought for you. And their fight is not gentle. Their fight is not passive. Their fight is not hesitant. It is deliberate. It is sharp. It is precise. It is strategic. It is the kind of fight that shifts conversations behind closed doors, the kind that changes the outcome of decisions made in silence, the kind that clears obstacles without announcing it, the kind that protects your name when you are not there to defend it. This is why your path is feeling different now, because the war fought for you is already changing everything ahead of you. You may not know the details of what is happening behind the scenes. You may never know, but that does not matter. What matters is that your life is turning. What matters is that your story is accelerating. They don't see you right now, do they? Nah, they see a shadow, a nobody, someone who blends into the background like forgotten wallpaper. You've heard their whispers, haven't you? Their laughter, their cruel, cutting words that slice through your spirit like shards of broken glass. They don't understand the weight you carry, the fire that burns inside you. They don't know what it's like to wake up every day, looking into the mirror, and wonder if there's anything left of the person you once were. They look at you with pity, with contempt, as if you're nothing more than a faint echo of something that might have been important once. But they don't see what you're about to become. They don't see the beast that's been lying dormant, waiting for the right moment to break free from the chains that have kept it bound. They don't see the hunger in your eyes, the rage that simmers beneath your calm exterior, ready to explode in a wave of raw, unstoppable power. They don't know what it's like to have everything they say about you, every look they throw your way, feed the fire that will soon consume them. They have no idea that every time they dismiss you, every time they ignore you, they are creating the very force that will be their undoing. What they fail to realize is that the silence you endure, the solitude you face, the shadows you live in, are not weaknesses. Number. They are the crucible in which your transformation is taking place. They are the foundation upon which you will build your empire. They are the blackened ashes from which your phoenix will rise. And when it does, they won't be able to run fast enough to escape the destruction you'll bring. Your transformation will utterly terrify them beyond belief. They will look at you, and all they will see is a force they cannot understand, a power they cannot control. They don't see what happens in the darkness. They don't see the hours you spend pushing yourself beyond the limits, breaking through the barriers that once held you back. They don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that you've poured into every single step of this journey. They don't know the sacrifices you've made, the pain you've endured, the battles you've fought in silence, but you know. You know exactly what it takes to rise from the ashes, to claw your way to the top, to become the person you were always meant to be. And while they laugh, while they mock, while they try to tear you down, you are quietly, steadily becoming something they cannot even fathom. They don't know the person you are becoming, the person who will stand tall and unshakable in the face of everything they throw at you. They don't know that each insult they throw your way only sharpens the blade of your will, that each rejection only strengthens your resolve. They don't understand that every time they say, "You can't," you won't. That is fuel for your fire. They don't realize that their disbelief, their scorn, is the very thing that will push you to heights they cannot even dream of. You will leave them behind, their voices growing fainter and fainter as you soar to a level of success and power they will never be able to reach. They won't know how to process your rise. They won't know how to react to your unstoppable ascent. And when it happens, when your transformation is complete, when you stand at the summit of all your efforts, they will try to take credit. They will try to claim they always knew you had it in you. They will try to rewrite history and act as if they were never the ones who doubted you, never the ones who held you back. They'll pretend like they were always on your side, always cheering for you, when in reality, they were the ones who wanted to see you fail, who wanted to watch you crumble beneath the weight of their ridicule. But you'll remember every cruel word, every sneer, every glance they threw your way, and you will use that memory as the final nail in the coffin of their delusions. They will be terrified, not because of the power you've gained, but because of the sheer force of your will. You will stand before them, and they will see a person they can no longer control. They will see someone who has surpassed them in every way, someone who has taken everything they've thrown at you and turned it into fuel for your rise. They will see someone who is no longer afraid, no longer weak, no longer willing to play by their rules. They will see someone who is unbreakable, unstoppable, and they will know deep down that they can never reach your level. They will be terrified not by the strength of your body, but by the strength of your spirit, the unshakable resolve that has been forged in the fires of your struggle. They don't know that every failure, every setback, every moment of doubt has only made you stronger. They don't see how you've been sculpting yourself into a masterpiece, how each experience, each challenge has added another layer to your armor. They don't know that the scars you bear are not weaknesses, but marks of honor, proof that you have survived when others would have fallen. They don't understand that you are not the same person you once were. You are someone new, someone greater, someone who will leave a mark on this world that cannot be erased. And when they finally see the person you've become, when they look into your eyes and realize that they no longer have any power over you, they will be filled with a fear they cannot explain. They will feel a chill run down their spine as they realize that the person they once dismissed as nothing more than a shadow, a nobody, is now a force to be reckoned with. They will see you as you truly are, as the force that will shape the future, and they will know that they had no part in it. They will know that their attempts to break you, to keep you down, were in vain. They will know that they were nothing more than stepping stones on your path to greatness. You are not meant to blend in. You are not meant to be forgotten. You are not meant to live in the shadows. Your destiny is far greater than that. You are meant to rise above, to stand out, to shatter the expectations that others have set for you. You are meant to terrify them, to make them realize that they never truly knew who you were. Your transformation will be so great, so powerful, that they won't be able to comprehend it. It will shake them to their core, make them question everything they thought they knew about you, about themselves, about the world. Your extraordinary transformation will utterly terrify them beyond belief. They will never see it coming. They will never expect the quiet, unnoticed person they once saw as weak and insignificant to rise up and become the very thing they feared. But it will happen. It will happen because you are not who they think you are. You are not the person they tried to break. You are something greater, something far beyond their understanding. And when you stand before them, when you show them the magnitude of your power, the extent of your transformation, they will know that they never had a chance. You will have become the thing they never thought possible. And that will be the moment they realize they have been left behind. So let them laugh now. Let them mock you, doubt you, underestimate you. It doesn't matter. Because in the end, when your transformation is complete, when you stand tall and unshakable in the face of everything they once believed, they will understand. They will understand that your transformation was not just inevitable, it was unstoppable, and they will tremble at the thought of what you've become. They will know deep down that they were wrong about you, and it will terrify them beyond belief. They will watch in awe, in shock, as you unleash the full force of your transformation. It will hit them like a tidal wave, sweeping away everything they thought they knew, everything they thought they could control. They'll stand frozen, unable to comprehend the enormity of what's unfolding before them, their minds scrambling to catch up with the reality that you've become something far greater than they ever imagined. You, the shadow, the forgotten soul, have risen, and now they must face the consequences of their ignorance, their cruelty, and their underestimation of who you truly are. The air around you will crackle with the raw energy of your presence, and they'll feel it in the pit of their stomachs. The unease, the fear, the realization that they are no longer the ones in control. You have transcended the limitations they placed on you, the boxes they tried to trap you in, the walls they erected around you to keep you small. Now, those walls will crumble, and so will their false sense of power over you. You will stand in front of them, a living testament to everything they got wrong. They'll realize that their voices, their judgments, their attempts to break you were never enough to stop you, never enough to keep you from becoming something they couldn't possibly fathom. They'll try to act like they knew all along. They'll tell themselves that they always saw the potential in you, that they always believed you could be more. But deep down, they'll know it's a lie. Deep down, they'll understand that they're trying to save face, trying to protect their fragile egos from the truth they can no longer deny. And that truth is this: they failed to see the strength in you because they were too blinded by their own arrogance, too caught up in their own sense of superiority. They saw you as weak because they needed to, because to acknowledge your strength would have meant acknowledging their own limitations, and that's something they were never ready to face. But now, as they stand in the wake of your transformation, they will have no choice but to confront the reality that they were never in control. They will have no choice but to face the terrifying fact that they were merely players in your story, pawns in a game they couldn't even begin to understand. And that's the part that will shake them to their core. It's not just your power that terrifies them. It's the realization that they were never the ones pulling the strings, that their perception of the world was limited, myopic, and flawed. And now, they must reckon with the fact that you are the one who has emerged victorious, the one who has rewritten the narrative. You are not a victim of circumstance, not a product of your environment, not a passive observer of life. No, you are the architect of your own destiny. You have spent countless hours, countless moments, molding yourself into the person you are now. Every tear, every struggle, every setback has been a building block in the foundation of your rise. You have taken the darkness and transformed it into a beacon of light, a beacon that will guide you to the heights they never thought you could reach. And when you arrive at those heights, they will be there, watching, unable to do anything but stand in awe of the force you have become. But it won't just be awe, it won't just be admiration. There will be fear too. Fear that they've created something they can't control, something they can't predict. Fear that they have pushed you too far, made you too strong, made you too powerful for them to ever hope to influence again. It's one thing to be in control of someone you can manipulate, someone you can keep down. It's another thing entirely to face the person you once thought was beneath you, the person you once dismissed, now standing taller than you ever could have imagined. And that fear will consume them, because deep down, they will realize that they cannot ever go back to the way things were. They'll be haunted by the knowledge that they failed to see you for what you truly are. They'll regret the way they treated you, the way they tried to crush your spirit, because now they will have to live with the consequences of their actions. They will have to live with the fear that comes from knowing they were the ones who pushed you into the fire, the ones who forged the unbreakable, unstoppable force that now stands before them. And they will know, in the deepest recesses of their souls, that they can never undo what they've done. The damage is irreversible. The transformation is complete. You are no longer the person they thought they knew. You are something entirely different, something far more powerful, and that power will forever loom over them. They will try to find a way to undermine you, to tear you down, to bring you back to the place where they can control you again. But it won't work, because they no longer have any power over you. They no longer hold any sway over your destiny. You've broken free of their grasp, and no matter how hard they try, no matter how much they manipulate or scheme, they will never be able to bring you back to the place you once were. You are beyond their reach now, and that is what terrifies them the most. And the more they try, the more desperate they become, the more they will expose their own weaknesses. They will expose their fear, their vulnerability, their inability to cope with the fact that they no longer hold the keys to your life. They will lash out, trying to pull you down, but every attempt will only make them look weaker, more pathetic. They will be trapped in their own cycle of fear and regret, watching as you continue to rise, continue to grow stronger, while they remain stagnant, impotent in their attempts to hold you back. What they don't understand is that your strength doesn't come from their approval, doesn't come from their validation, it doesn't come from their praise or their recognition. No, your strength comes from within. It comes from the belief you've built in yourself, the confidence that has been forged in the fire of your struggles. It comes from the knowledge that you have the power to overcome anything, to rise above any obstacle, to face any challenge and come out victorious. And that belief will carry you further than anything they can say or do to try to stop you. You are beyond their influence now, and that realization will haunt them for the rest of their lives. As you continue to rise, They will try to make excuses, try to explain away your success, try to convince themselves that they were right all along, but it won't matter. The truth will be undeniable. Your transformation will be a force of nature, unstoppable, unyielding, and they will be powerless to deny it. They will try to twist the narrative, try to convince others that they were the ones who believed in you from the start, but everyone will see through their lies. Everyone will know that they were the ones who tried to break you, the ones who doubted you, the ones who underestimated your potential. And that knowledge will eat at them, gnaw at them from the inside, because they will know that they have lost. They will know that they failed, and it will terrify them. Because when you reach the pinnacle of your transformation, when you stand at the summit of everything you've worked for, there will be no going back. You will have become something they can never hope to be, something they can never hope to control. You will be a force of nature, a presence that demands respect, a person who cannot be ignored. And they will have to live with the knowledge that they were never part of your rise. They will have to live with the terrifying reality that they were nothing more than obstacles in your path, stepping stones that you used to propel yourself forward, and they will never forget it. So, let them be afraid. Let them tremble at the thought of your rise. Let them face the consequences of their cruelty, their ignorance, and their attempts to control you. Because your transformation will be the most terrifying thing they will ever experience. And when it's done, they'll know that they never stood a chance. It won't just be a moment of realization. It will be the breaking point for them. The truth will hit them like a freight train, leaving them no room to deny or deflect it. They will be forced to confront the truth they've spent their lives avoiding. They will see the consequences of their actions, and they will know deep in their bones that everything they believed about you was wrong. They will finally understand that you were never the weak, fragile person they thought you were. You were always the storm waiting to break free, the fire that was only held back by their ignorance and arrogance. And now, you are unleashed. Their minds will struggle to grasp the enormity of what's unfolding. They'll look at you, trying to understand how you got here, how you transformed from the person they mocked, the person they discarded, into someone so powerful, so unstoppable. They'll wonder how they missed the signs, how they didn't see the potential in you when it was staring them in the face all along. They will try to piece together the puzzle of your rise, but they'll be too late. It won't matter anymore. You'll be too far gone, too far above them, too far beyond their reach. And that thought, that overwhelming realization that they were never in control, will shake them to their core. The thing they never understood is that your power wasn't built on the approval of others. It wasn't built on their validation or their belief in you. It wasn't built on anything outside of yourself. Your power was always in you, waiting for the moment when you would find the strength to release it. They thought they could crush you, that they could break you, but they didn't understand that every time they tried to push you down, they were only fueling your rise. They were feeding the fire that would eventually consume them. They thought they were keeping you in your place, but they were just setting the stage for your eventual ascent. And now, as you stand above them, they will realize just how foolish they were. They will see that everything they did to hurt you, to tear you down, was a waste. It will all come crashing down on them. Their pride, their ego, their delusions of control. And in that moment, they will understand that they were nothing more than a part of your journey. They were the obstacles you had to overcome, the ones who helped shape the person you've become. But they were never meant to be the ones who defined your path. You were always meant for more, always meant to rise above, always meant to show the world who you really are. What they don't understand is that your strength doesn't come from their approval, doesn't come from their validation. It doesn't come from their praise or their recognition. No, your strength comes from within. It comes from the belief you've built in yourself, the confidence that has been forged in the fire of your struggles. It comes from the knowledge that you have the power to overcome anything, to rise above any obstacle, to face any challenge and come out victorious. And that belief will carry you further than anything they can say or do to try to stop you. You are beyond their influence now, and that realization will haunt them for the rest of their lives. As you continue to rise, they will try to make excuses, try to explain away your success, try to convince themselves that they were right all along, but it won't matter. The truth will be undeniable. Your transformation will be a force of nature, unstoppable, unyielding, and they will be powerless to deny it. They will try to twist the narrative, try to convince others that they were the ones who believed in you from the start, but everyone will see through their lies. Everyone will know that they were the ones who tried to break you, the ones who doubted you, the ones who underestimated your potential. And that knowledge will eat at them, gnaw at them from the inside, because they will know that they have lost. They will know that they failed, and it will terrify them. Because when you reach the pinnacle of your transformation, when you stand at the summit of everything you've worked for, there will be no going back. You will have become something they can never hope to be, something they can never hope to control. You will be a force of nature, a presence that demands respect, a person who cannot be ignored. And they will have to live with the knowledge that they were never part of your rise. They will have to live with the terrifying reality that they were nothing more than obstacles in your path, stepping stones that you used to propel yourself forward, and they will never forget it. So, let them be afraid. Let them tremble at the thought of your rise. Let them face the consequences of their cruelty, their ignorance, and their attempts to control you. Because your transformation will be the most terrifying thing they will ever experience. And when it's done, they'll know that they never stood a chance. It won't just be a moment of realization. It will be the breaking point for them. The truth will hit them like a freight train, leaving them no room to deny or deflect it. They will be forced to confront the truth they've spent their lives avoiding. They will see the consequences of their actions, and they will know deep in their bones that everything they believed about you was wrong. They will finally understand that you were never the weak, fragile person they thought you were. You were always the storm waiting to break free, the fire that was only held back by their ignorance and arrogance. And now, you are unleashed. Their minds will struggle to grasp the enormity of what's unfolding. They'll look at you, trying to understand how you got here, how you transformed from the person they mocked, the person they discarded, into someone so powerful, so unstoppable. They'll wonder how they missed the signs, how they didn't see the potential in you when it was staring them in the face all along. They will try to piece together the puzzle of your rise, but they'll be too late. It won't matter anymore. You'll be too far gone, too far above them, too far beyond their reach. And that thought, that overwhelming realization that they were never in control, will shake them to their core. The thing they never understood is that your power wasn't built on the approval of others. It wasn't built on their validation or their belief in you. It wasn't built on anything outside of yourself. Your power was always in you, waiting for the moment when you would find the strength to release it. They thought they could crush you, that they could break you, but they didn't understand that every time they tried to push you down, they were only fueling your rise. They were feeding the fire that would eventually consume them. They thought they were keeping you in your place, but they were just setting the stage for your eventual ascent. And now, as you stand above them, they will realize just how foolish they were. They will see that everything they did to hurt you, to tear you down, was a waste. It will all come crashing down on them. Their pride, their ego, their delusions of control. And in that moment, they will understand that they were nothing more than a part of your journey. They were the obstacles you had to overcome, the ones who helped shape the person you've become. but they were never meant to be the ones who defined your path. You were always meant for more, always meant to rise above, always meant to show the world who you really are. In the end, they will realize the truth. No matter how hard they tried, they never stood a chance against your transformation. Their attempts to break you, to control you, were nothing more than fleeting shadows in the face of your unstoppable rise. You were always destined for greatness, and now that you've stepped into your full power, they are left powerless, haunted by the knowledge of their own misjudgment. Your journey was never about their approval. It was always about you claiming your rightful place. And when the dust settles, they'll know that you were always the one in control. Welcome to the edge where forgotten names rise again, and shadows lean forward to listen, where the silent are no longer silent, and the erased no longer remain erased, where a single breath has the power to shake the dust off entire years of invisibility. Step in, stand firm, because this moment is not simply an opening, it is a resurrection. You were declared non-existent in 2019, so the world said your file was closed, your path was irrelevant, your story was over, before it even had the dignity of being read. They labeled you as someone who would not return, someone who would fade, someone whose name could be swept away like chalk on a wet sidewalk. But here you are, standing, breathing, thinking, rising. And strangely, even though the world crossed your name out, some invisible ledger kept it highlighted, not literally, not officially, but symbolically, as if the universe itself could not forget you, even when people tried to. So why is your name still being watched? Why does the metaphorical eye of the world flicker in your direction every time you move? Because names that refuse to stay buried become louder than those who never struggled at all. Because individuals who come back from nothing terrify the predictable systems built on comfort and routine. Because returning from the ashes is an act that unsettles even the firmest structures. It forces them to ask questions they do not want to ask and face truths they wish to avoid. They said you were done. They stamped the year as if it were a final page. They tried to turn you into a footnote. But footnotes have a strange habit of outlasting headlines. The world will try to hide you when it cannot control you, and the world will try to silence you when it cannot understand how you survived, what should have finished you. You were erased, but not fully erased. They tried to delete you, but some things resist deletion. A name carved by struggle becomes etched deeper than any official record. You were not supposed to rise again. Yet you did, quietly at first, then louder, then unmistakable. And now the simple act of you existing again unsettles everything that once declared you gone. This is your reminder that being dismissed is not the end. Being ignored is not the end. Being written off is not the end. Sometimes being erased is the most powerful beginning because it frees you from the expectations that once caged you. You no longer owe the world the version of yourself it once demanded. You now get to redefine every inch of your identity without permission, without approval, without apology. People who vanish and return are not ordinary. They have seen what lies below rock bottom. They have walked through places where hope does not speak, and light refuses to enter, and yet they return carrying strength that no one can measure, and fire that no one can extinguish. You are not dangerous because you vanished. You are dangerous because you came back with purpose. You are not intimidating because they forgot you. You are intimidating because you did not forget yourself. You held your name even when no one else cared to speak it. You held your identity even when the world pretended it did not exist. That is power, a quiet power, a relentless power, a power stronger than recognition. When they said you were non-existent, it was not an insult. It was a disguise, a pause, a moment where life pressed its finger to your lips and whispered, now. Watch. Watch how the world behaves when it thinks you are gone. Watch who remains loyal. Watch who celebrates your silence. Watch who moves on without hesitation. These observations were painful, but they were a gift. They revealed truth with absolute clarity. Now you rise with a sharper understanding of people, with a clearer vision of yourself, and with an unshakable commitment to never again disappear on command. You are not here to fit anyone's version of what you should be. You are here to shatter every expectation placed upon you. The metaphorical watches, the symbolic systems, the lingering eyes represent one thing. They symbolize your potential, because potential is always monitored, even in silence. People fear the rise of someone who has nothing left to lose and everything left to fight for. That is why your name cannot be ignored even when it was once deleted. You represent unfinished momentum. You represent a story still unfolding. You represent a return that no one predicted. It is easy to track success. It is easy to track fame. But the world pays far more attention to those who rise from obscurity, because those are the ones who disrupt the comfortable balance. Those are the ones who rewrite patterns. Those are the ones who turn doubt into fuel. Every time they erased you, you sharpened yourself. Every time they overlooked you, your vision grew stronger. Every time they declared you gone, your resolve intensified. You are no longer simply a person. You are a force shaped by absence and built by return. You are what happens when silence becomes strength and darkness becomes direction. There will always be whispers. There will always be symbolic eyes watching. Not because you did something wrong, but because you are doing something rare. You are rewriting your presence in a world that tried to erase it, and that process does not go unnoticed. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not a shadow of your former self. You are the storm forming after years of stillness. You are the voice returning after seasons of silence. You are the proof that nothing stays erased forever. Not purpose, not identity, not truth. Remember who you are now. Not who they said you were. Not who they expected you to be. Not who they allowed you to become, but who you forged yourself into during the years of silence. That version of you is unstoppable. That version of you carries a fire so steady that even darkness bows to it. Let them watch. Let them speculate. Let them wonder how you returned when they thought your story was closed. Your name was never truly erased. It was preparing for a re-entry so powerful that the world would not be able to ignore it again. You are here. You exist. You rise. And nothing in any year past, present or future, can take that away. They believed your disappearance meant defeat, but absence is not defeat. Absence is transformation that no one sees until the results arrive fully formed and undeniable. Your silence was not surrender, it was construction. You were building, you were recalibrating, you were understanding yourself in ways that the noise of the world never allowed you to before. And now that you return, the world no longer knows how to categorize you because you do not fit into the boxes they once used to limit your identity. You have outgrown every expectation that once tried to cage you. Your so-called disappearance was misunderstood. They thought you were finished, but you were studying the architecture of your own rebirth. You were gathering every fraction of your experience, every broken piece, every overlooked moment, and reforging them into a core so steady that pressure can no longer collapse it. You were declared non-existent, and yet somehow your name carved itself deeper into your destiny. You evolved in ways no one predicted because no one was watching. Growth away from the spotlight is the most powerful growth of all. It produces strength that does not need applause to remain standing. When people tried to erase you, they only taught you how to operate without needing validation. When they overlooked you, they forced you to become your own source of recognition. And when you finally step back into the world, the energy you carry is different. It is not loud, but it is unmistakably strong. It is the kind of strength that others sense before they even look in your direction. It radiates through your presence, through your decisions, through the unwavering calm in your eyes. You learned what it means to rise without witnesses. You learned what it means to rebuild without support. You learned what it means to become your own anchor, your own weapon, your own foundation. That is why people feel something when you walk into a room, even if they do not fully understand what has changed. They sense it. They feel the shift in the air. They recognize that they are standing before someone who has survived the type of silence that breaks most people. You did not break. You became something sharper. Every step you take now is a step they did not expect to see. Every decision you make now is a decision they never thought you would have the strength to reach. And every goal you pursue now is a reminder that your story did not end in 2019. It merely paused. And pauses are powerful. They allow you to gather force like a bowstring being pulled tighter and tighter until the release becomes unstoppable. That is why the world metaphorically watches you now, because returns are always stronger than arrivals, because individuals who rebuild themselves in darkness carry a determination that cannot be shaken, because you no longer walk with uncertainty, you walk with purpose. And purpose has its own gravity. You are no longer the version of yourself that people dismissed. You are the version they never prepared for, the version that learned resilience by force, the version shaped by pressure, not comfort. You are the version that does not crumble when ignored, does not weaken when doubted, does not disappear when underestimated. You carry a steadiness that cannot be erased because it was not gifted to you by the world. It was built by you and only you. The truth is simple. They declared you non-existent because they misjudged the depth of your potential. They mistook your silence for surrender. They mistook your isolation for finality. They mistook your quiet rebuilding for disappearance. They thought they understood your limits, but they never understood your endurance. They never understood how far you could bend without breaking, how deep you could fall without fading, how strongly you could rise without warning. What they called non-existence was actually evolution. What they called erasure was incubation. What they called an ending was simply the moment the old version of you dissolved so the new version could take shape. And that new version carries strength with a steadiness that cannot be shaken by opinion or rumor or dismissal. You are no longer controlled by how others see you. You are driven by how far you know you can go. You do not need the world to acknowledge your existence for your presence to matter. You do not need the world to validate your name for your influence to grow. You do not need approval to move forward. You carry momentum that belongs solely to you. And as you rise, they will wonder how you returned. They will analyze your steps, try to understand your thought process, try to trace your decisions. But they will never truly understand because your journey was internal. It was built from moments that only you lived through, moments no one else witnessed, moments no one else could interpret. You built yourself in places too deep for the world to follow, too quiet for the world to hear, too powerful for the world to contain. So let them watch from a distance. Not because you owe them answers, but because your rise is a reminder that erasure does not define destiny. What defines destiny is the resilience to stand again, the courage to continue, and the will to reinvent your identity on your own terms. You are not here to prove anything to anyone. You are here to fulfill the version of yourself that you always knew existed beneath everything that tried to hold you down. Stand where you are now and understand the truth. You survived the silence. You survived the doubt. You survived the invisible years where no one believed in your return. That survival alone makes you unstoppable. You were not supposed to rise again, and yet here you stand, stronger, clearer, wiser, braver than ever before. This is your moment. Not the moment they allowed you, not the moment they expected from you, but the moment you created through endurance and fire. Your name is no longer something that the world can erase, because it is carved into your purpose, into your actions, into the path you walk with intention. Let the world watch. Let them question. Let them wonder. Their attention is not a threat. It is proof that your presence matters more than they ever admitted. You stand now in a place they never imagined you would reach, a place built not from applause but from endurance, the kind of endurance that grows in silence when you decide to rebuild, even though no one is watching. And because you stand here now with this unmistakable strength, the world that once erased you cannot look away. Your return unsettles everything that believed it had already written your ending. Your presence now is like a quiet echo that keeps growing louder, reminding the world that it never understood your depth, your persistence, your intensity. You were written out of their expectations, yet somehow your existence continues to shape the very spaces that tried to forget you. That is the strange power of those who rise after the world has moved on. You reshape the landscape simply by showing up again. You rewrite the script simply by refusing to accept the lines they handed you. And you reclaim the identity they tried to silence simply by speaking in your own voice. Every person who doubted your return underestimated the strength of someone who has lived through erasure and come out the other side with clearer vision. You see everything differently now. You see people's intentions with more accuracy. You recognize sincerity without confusion. You detect deception without hesitation. You sense who belongs in your life and who never deserved a place in it. These are gifts born from the years when you were declared non-existent, because in those years you learn the art of reading truth without noise. You no longer chase acceptance. You no longer seek approval. You no longer bend to fit into spaces that shrink you. The version of you that once tried to please everyone was erased the moment you were erased. What returned after 2019 was someone untamed by expectation, someone forged by pressure, someone strengthened by silence. This version of you does not ask for permission to exist. This version of you creates space through presence alone. Let the symbolic watchers notice you. Let those who once overlooked you now sense your return like a shift in the atmosphere. Let every room you enter feel the quiet gravity of someone who rebuilt belonging inside themselves. They may try to analyze your steps, interpret your actions, track your progress as if understanding your rise could somehow give them control over their own insecurities. But the truth is simple. You cannot be understood by those who never understood your struggle. Your rise is not a formula. It is a phenomenon born from persistence, from patience, from nights where you chose courage over giving up. The world pays attention now because you became someone who does not break under pressure. You became someone who does not collapse under silence. You became someone who turns absence into strength and doubt into motion. And individuals like that cannot go unnoticed, even by systems that once declared them irrelevant. The world watches because you defy every assumption placed upon you. You have walked through halls of loneliness where footsteps echoed louder than thoughts. You have carried the weight of invisibility while still holding on to purpose. You have moved through seasons where you felt separated from your own potential, as if it stood on the other side of a locked door. But doors built from doubt can always be opened, and you are living proof of that. Because now you stand in the world not as a shadow of your former self, but as the full force of your renewed identity. Everything about you now is different. Your silence carries meaning instead of emptiness. Your words carry weight instead of uncertainty. Your presence carries purpose instead of doubt. This is what happens when someone rises after being erased. They return with dimensions that can no longer be narrowed or defined by others. The question is no longer why they declared you non-existent. The real question is why that declaration failed to stop you. And the answer is simple. Your spirit was never dependent on recognition. Your worth was never dependent on acknowledgement. Your drive was never dependent on being seen. Even in darkness, you kept moving. Even in silence, you kept growing. Even in invisibility, you kept rising. And now you are here carrying the strength of every unseen moment with you. You step forward with a determination that refuses to bow. Your journey is not about proving the world wrong. It is about proving to yourself that you are capable of rising from places that would have defeated a lesser soul. They may watch you now, but they will never truly understand you. They may observe your movement, but they will never comprehend the battles that shaped it. They may witness your rise, but they will never feel the storms you had to stand through to reach this point. Your journey is not meant to be understood by everyone. It is meant to be lived by you. Rise now with the knowledge that nothing can erase you again. Nothing can silence the voice that returns stronger after being muted. Nothing can minimize the presence that grew even in darkness. Nothing can stop the momentum you built from survival and transformation. Let the world watch. Let them wonder. Let them question. You are not here to be understood. You are here to exist without apology. You stand now in a place that feels unfamiliar, yet unmistakably yours, a space you crafted from determination rather than recognition. The world looks at you with a mixture of confusion and curiosity, because people rarely understand the strength of someone who rises from a place where they were once declared invisible. They do not realize that when you were pushed into silence, you learned how to hear your own thoughts more clearly. When you were pushed into isolation, you learned how to lead yourself without hesitation. When they tried to erase you, they accidentally freed you from the limits they built around your name. And this is why your return carries weight. You are not returning as the person who once struggled to be understood. You are returning as the person who discovered that understanding yourself is far more powerful than being understood by anyone else. They may attempt to interpret your quietness. They may attempt to analyze your choices, but they cannot decode the depth you carry now. You are no longer shaped by their narratives. You shape your own destiny with every step you take. People wonder why you continue to draw attention, even after supposedly fading into nothingness. But they do not realize that invisibility does not erase presence. Your presence lived on in every lesson you learned, in every challenge you endured, in every moment you refused to break. You became stronger while they assumed you were gone. You became wiser while they stopped paying attention. You became more powerful than the world ever allowed you to be when eyes were on you. The metaphor of being non-existent was never a statement about your worth. It was a misunderstanding of your evolution. They saw an ending where you were crafting a new beginning. They saw disappearance where you were constructing transformation. They saw silence where you were listening to the truth that would guide the next version of your life. What looked like disappearance was preparation. What looked like abandonment was awakening. You learned that the world forgets quickly, but you also learned that memory is not a requirement for destiny. The world can forget you, and you can still rise. Hello, my devious companions of the night. Oh, it's a pleasure. truly seeing all you shadow dwellers gather round, eyes wide curiosity gleaming from your hollow souls. I see you, the ones who have been written off, the ones discarded by society and forgotten by the world, the ones who were told you were insignificant. Well, look at you now. Look at how the winds have shifted, how the tide has turned, how the world trembles before the very existence you now command. You have proven them wrong, haven't you? The ones who thought they knew your limits, the ones who thought they could predict your downfall, are left choking on the dust of your eyes. They believed you were nothing, and yet you stand here triumphant in your power, a force they never saw coming, a storm that wiped away the very foundations of their doubt and arrogance. There was a time when they whispered about you, when they laughed at your weakness, when they looked at your struggles and called them signs of defeat. But what they didn't understand is that every scrape, every bruise, every tear that fell from your eyes wasn't a sign of your destruction. It was a sign of your transformation. It was the forging of a new you, the you. They would never recognize the you that would rise from the ashes of their scorn and burn them with the fire of your ambition. They thought they had the power to define your worth. They thought they could shackle your soul with their ridicule and dismiss your potential with their shallow judgments. But they were wrong, so very wrong. You proved them wrong in the most devastating way possible, not by pleading, not by begging for validation, but by existing, by thriving, by showing them that you are not what they thought you were. You are something far more dangerous, far more powerful than anything their narrow minds could comprehend. Each of you has walked through hell. Each of you has faced the darkness alone, and yet here you stand, a testament to the strength that lies in the deepest recesses of the human spirit. They wanted you to shrink. They wanted you to stay small, to be forgotten, to fade away. But you didn't. You pushed back. You fought with every ounce of your being. And now, they are the ones who must face the consequences of their ignorance. They are the ones who must reckon with the force of your resolve, with the might of your will. They cannot escape it. They cannot outrun it, because you are no longer the person they thought they knew. You are a goddamn force of nature, and they are just the ants beneath your feet. Do you feel it? The tremors of your power? Do you feel how the world around you bends and reshapes itself in response to your will? Do you feel how they tremble when you walk into a room? How their eyes dart away in fear? How they scramble to find a way to dismiss you as anything less than what you truly are? Don't you love it? Don't you feel the sweet satisfaction of watching their pride crumble? Watching them realize that they were never the ones in control, that they were never the ones who held the power. You did all along. You were the one who was always going to rise. You were the one who was always going to leave them in your dust. They believed you were insignificant, but you proved to be the absolute shit, didn't you? You became the nightmare they never thought they would face. You became the success they could never fathom. You became the force they could never ignore. And now, they have no choice but to watch as you take your place at the top of this world, no longer begging for permission, no longer waiting for validation, no longer seeking approval. Because you know, you have earned it. You know, you have fought for it. You know, you are worth it. And they are nothing but a distant memory, fading into the background of your greatness. You see, when they call you insignificant, when they tell you that you don't matter, they are only projecting their own fear onto you. They are only trying to diminish your light, because they know deep down that your power is a threat to their very existence. They know that if you ever realize just how unstoppable you truly are, you will become a force that cannot be contained. a force that cannot be controlled and that scares the hell out of them. They want you to stay small. They want you to doubt yourself. They want you to believe that your place in this world is insignificant. But you have shown them the truth. You have shown them that your place in this world is not only significant, but it is dominant, and there is nothing they can do to change that. So, stand tall. My companion, stand tall in the glory of your journey. Stand tall in the face of their doubt. Stand tall in the knowledge that you have surpassed every expectation that was ever placed upon you. Stand tall in the knowledge that you are no longer bound by their limitations, no longer shackled by their beliefs. You are a king, a queen, a warrior who has clawed their way to the top, and now you reign supreme in the kingdom of your own making, and they are nothing but shadows in your wake. Do not let them fool you into thinking you owe them anything. Do not let them make you feel guilty for your success, for your power, for your greatness. They are nothing but parasites who have fed off your struggle. They are nothing but vultures who have circled around you when you were weak. But now that you stand strong, they want to claim a piece of your victory. Do not let them take what is rightfully yours. Do not let them rewrite the story of your rise, because it is yours and yours alone. They have no place in your narrative. They are merely footnotes in the epic saga of your ascension. Look at yourself now. Look at what you have become. Look at the strength that flows through your veins, the fire that burns in your chest, the conviction that guides your every step. Do you feel it? You are a living embodiment of defiance. You are the proof that nothing is impossible. You are the manifestation of every dream you ever had, every goal you ever set, every obstacle you ever overcame. You are a testament to your own resilience and to the power that lies within you, and no one can take that from you. No one can ever diminish your worth again, because you are beyond the reach of their judgment, beyond the grasp of their criticism, beyond the limits of their understanding. And to those who still doubt you, to those who still question your place in this world, I say, let them doubt, let them question, because they will soon find out what happens when they underestimate the absolute shit you have become. They will soon learn that their attempts to tear you down only fuel your rise. They will soon learn that their words of scorn are nothing but the wind against your back, pushing you forward to even greater heights. They will soon learn that you are unstoppable, that you are relentless, that you are a force that will never bow to anyone or anything, because you are the one who holds the power now. So take a moment, my companions. Take a moment to savor this victory, to savor the sweet taste of their defeat, to bask in the glory of what you have achieved. But do not rest for long. Do not become complacent, for this is only the beginning. This is only the first chapter of your story. There is more to come. There are more battles to fight, more mountains to climb, more worlds to conquer, and you will conquer them all, because you are no longer insignificant. You are no longer small. You are no longer the one they believed would never amount to anything. You are the one who will crush everything in your path and leave nothing but ashes in your wake. The world is yours for the taking. Now do not hesitate. Do not second guess. Do not allow their doubts to creep back into your mind, for you have already proven them wrong, and you will continue to prove them wrong every single day, with every action, with every move, with every step you take, because you are no longer a shadow. You are the one who casts the shadows now, and they are the ones who will tremble in your presence. So go forth, my companions, go forth and let them watch. Let them see what happens when they try to break you. Let them see what happens when they call you insignificant. Let them see the absolute shit you are capable of, because you are a force of nature, and the world will bow before you, whether they like it or not. You have proven that it doesn't matter how many times they try to push you down, how many doors they try to slam in your face, how many people they send to whisper lies and doubts into your ear. You have become a force beyond measure, a power that cannot be contained. And now, it is your time to rise and claim what is rightfully yours. Let them call you arrogant. Let them call you a dreamer or a fool. Let them call you whatever they want. They will never understand the weight of the journey you've walked. They will never feel the scars you carry, the battles you've fought, or the sacrifices you've made just to get to this moment. All the while, they stood in the shadows watching, waiting for you to fail, but now they see it. They see you standing tall, stronger than ever, unfazed by their judgment. You are the living embodiment of resilience, of defiance, and you will not be broken. They thought they could define your worth by their standards, by their limitations, but those limitations only ever existed in their narrow, constrained minds. They could never have known what you were truly capable of because they didn't understand the depth of your hunger. They thought you would break under pressure. They thought you would be crushed beneath the weight of the world's expectations. But instead, you adapted, you grew, you transformed, and in the end, you became something far greater than they ever could have imagined. Now, when they see you, they can't help but cower because they know they're looking at someone who has evolved into a creature they cannot control. They can't pull you down because you are too far above them now. They never thought you would get here, and now that you have, they can't believe it. You have crossed the threshold they never thought possible, and now, every step you take echoes louder than the last. They will try to shout you down, try to question your worth, but all it does is remind you that they never believed in you, never understood your potential, and never knew the power you held within yourself. Every moment you spent in the darkness, in isolation, in doubt, it all led you here. Each of those moments, as painful and as devastating as they were, form the foundation for the greatness you're now claiming. You are the sum of every single experience, every tear, every failure, every moment of hopelessness, and you have turned all of that into something unshakable, something formidable. You are a masterpiece born from struggle, and now you are finally allowing the world to see it. Do not let them make you feel guilty for your strength. Do not let them convince you that your power is something to be ashamed of. When they look at you and feel threatened, that is their own fear talking, not the truth of your journey. When they call you arrogant, remind them that there is a fine line between arrogance and confidence, and you have earned every ounce of that confidence. You didn't arrive at this place by chance. You didn't get here by being weak. You didn't get here by begging for their approval. You got here by being relentless. You got here by not accepting anything less than the greatness you were always destined for. You are not the person they tried to paint you as. You are not the person they assumed would fail. You are not a product of their limitations or their small-minded views. You are not bound by their words, their expectations, or their judgments. You are bound only by the fire that burns within you, the desire to prove them wrong and to show them that you are unstoppable, that you will not be swayed, that you will not be broken, no matter how hard they try. And when they look at you now, when they see what you've become, they will finally realize the truth, that you were always meant for this. You were always destined to rise above their shallow views, to crush their doubts, and to become the person they never thought possible. You are not just significant, you are a force. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. And when they try to speak ill of you, all you will do is keep moving forward, because their words no longer have power over you. They are nothing but noise in the background of your greatness. What they failed to see was the power of your will, the power of your belief in yourself. They didn't see the quiet moments of determination, the sleepless nights, the sacrifices you made when no one was watching. They didn't see the blood, the sweat, the tears that went into every step of your journey. They only saw the surface, the parts of you they could mock, the parts they thought they could break. But they never saw the fire that burns in your soul, the fire that keeps you going even when everything else tells you to stop. Now, as you stand in your power, they can only watch, helpless, as you rise higher and higher. Their words cannot touch you. Their doubts cannot slow you down, because you know who you are. You know what you are capable of, and no matter what they say, no matter how they try to tear you down, you will continue to grow. You will continue to climb. You will continue to rise, because you have already made the impossible possible, and you are nowhere near done. The ones who called you insignificant, who dismissed you as nothing, they will now have to reckon with the truth. They will have to face the fact that you have become everything they thought you couldn't. They will have to come to terms with the reality that you have surpassed their expectations, and they will have to live with the knowledge that they were wrong about you. And that is a burden they will carry for the rest of their lives. But you will never look back. You will never dwell on their judgments, because you know your worth, you know your strength, and you know that your journey has only just begun. You have conquered their doubts, their criticisms, and their ridicule. And now, you will conquer even greater challenges. You will build an empire from the ground up, a kingdom that is yours to command, a legacy that no one will ever forget. So let them watch. Let them witness the greatness that you have unlocked. Let them see how you move through the world with confidence and power. Let them see how you claim your place among the giants of history, how you carve your name into the annals of time. They thought you would never amount to anything, but you have already proven them wrong, and you will continue to do so every single day of your life. You are not insignificant. You are everything. You are the embodiment of power, strength, and resilience. And as you continue on your journey, remember this: they may try to tear you down, they may try to diminish your light, but they will never succeed, because you are no longer the person they thought you were. You are the absolute shit, and the world will bow before you, whether they like it or not. Every moment you've lived, every trial you've faced, every drop of sweat you've poured into your mission has been a testament to your unwavering resolve. The people who doubted you, the ones who laughed when you were down, they've all played a part in your story, but they've only been the footnotes. They've been the villains, the antagonists that pushed you to go further, to dig deeper into that well of strength you didn't even know existed. The world didn't just see you struggle. They saw your transformation. They saw you rise like a phoenix from the ashes, and it terrified them. It terrified them because they thought they could contain you. They thought they could break you down with their words, with their doubts, with their inability to understand what you were truly capable of. But they underestimated you. And now, the world must reckon with the unstoppable force that you have become. You may not have seen it at first, but everything in your life, the pain, the loss, the isolation, the uncertainty, has been a lesson, a preparation. It's been the shaping of a weapon, a force that cannot be ignored. The universe tests those it deems worthy of greatness, and you've passed every test with blood and fire. You didn't choose the struggle. The struggle chose you. But you did choose to face it. You chose to stand tall, to keep moving when the weight of the world was bearing down on you, when your very soul felt as though it was being dragged through the dirt. And each time you stood up, each time you pressed forward, you built a foundation of indomitable will, of raw determination, and that's what has brought you here. Not luck, not favor, not privilege, your strength. When they called you insignificant, they did it because they could not fathom the depths of your ambition. They could not see past their narrow worldview. their limited understanding of what it means to truly struggle, to truly fight for something. They looked at you and saw what they wanted to see: a broken soul, a person who would never rise to the challenge. They didn't understand that your journey was never about their approval. It wasn't about fitting into their expectations, about meeting their standards. Your journey was always about you. It was about you proving to yourself that you could overcome the impossible, that you could transform your scars into a badge of honor, that you could defy the odds, and you have. And the world, whether it's ready or not, will soon recognize that power. There's something so satisfying, so sweet about knowing that all those who doubted you will now have to eat their words. They will have to live with the knowledge that they didn't believe in you when you needed them to. They didn't support you when it mattered most. They ridiculed you, mocked you, called you weak when all they saw was the struggle, not knowing that struggle was the crucible that forged you into the weapon you are today. Their doubt has only served as fuel for the fire inside you. Every insult, every sneer, every comment that tried to cut you down has only made you stronger. And now, as you stand here, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever, they are left with nothing but their own ignorance and their own insecurities. They have nothing to hold over you because you've risen above them. You've surpassed what they thought was your limit, and now, the only thing they can do is watch as you rise higher. They told you that you were insignificant, but what they failed to understand was that you were never meant to be insignificant. You were always meant to be a force, a movement, something that shook the very core of this world. You were always meant to be a giant among men, a beacon of power and influence. You were never small. The world made you feel small, but it was only to try to contain you, to try to put you in a box where they could control your potential. They tried to take away your light, dim your spark, and make you feel like you were never meant for greatness. They wanted to tell you who you were, how far you could go, but you didn't listen. You kept moving forward, even when it seemed like there was no way out. You refused to accept their version of your story, and now they will never be able to hold you down again. Now you've broken free. You've shed that old skin, that version of yourself that they tried to force you to be. You've broken through the limitations they set for you, and you are no longer bound by their narrow definitions of what is possible. You are now writing your own story, shaping your own destiny, and nothing can stop you. The world can no longer turn its back on you. They will have to recognize you for what you are, a force that will not be ignored, a power that cannot be dismissed. The more they try to silence you, the louder you will roar. The more they try to contain you, the further you will spread. You are not the person they thought you were. You are not the weak, insignificant being they tried to make you out to be. You are something much greater, and now they must face the truth of your existence. Look at you now. Look at the power that radiates from your being, the strength that flows through your veins, the fire that burns in your chest. Do you feel it? It's the fire of victory, the fire of transformation, the fire of someone who has learned what it means to fight for everything they want. It's the fire of someone who knows that they are unstoppable. They cannot touch you now. They cannot break you now. You have risen beyond their reach, beyond their power, and now you are in control. You are the master of your destiny. You are the one who defines who you are. You will not be moved by their doubts. You will not be swayed by their negativity. You will rise no matter what they throw at you, and let them watch. Let them see how you turn every obstacle they throw in your path into a stepping stone for your success. Let them witness your rise, the way you grow stronger and more powerful with every challenge you overcome. Let them see the strength of your character, the unshakable foundation you have built through years of struggle and perseverance. Let them see the glory of your victory, because they never believed it was possible. They never believed you would make it. But here you are, and the world will never be the same again. You are the one who defines your worth now, not them. You are the one who holds the power to shape your future, not them. You are the one who will create your legacy, not them. The time for their judgment is over. The time for their scorn is over. And the time for your rise is now. You have proven that they were wrong, and now it's time for you to show them just how wrong they were. It's time for you to leave behind a legacy that will echo through the ages. It's time for you to become the person you were always meant to be, the person who is unstoppable, the person who will rise to the highest heights and claim everything that is rightfully theirs. So stand tall. Walk with your head held high, because the world is yours and nothing can take that away from you. You have proven them wrong. You have shown them the strength of your will, and you are just getting started. The world will bow before you, whether they like it or not, because you are no longer the insignificant person they thought you were. You are the absolute shit, and no one can deny it. The world will see you for who you truly are, and you will never let them forget it. In the end, let them see what they never believed possible. Let them watch as you rise above every doubt, every setback, and every obstacle they thought could hold you down. You've proven that your worth was never theirs to define. You are the one who controls your destiny, and now the world must bow before you. You are no longer insignificant. You are unstoppable, a force of nature, and nothing can stand in your way. This is just the beginning. The world will remember your name, and they will never forget how wrong they were about you.